Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin. And again, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you're like, hey, he's at another location. So today I have the fortunate opportunity to be house sitting for one of my clients. They have 3 beautiful dogs, and then I have my dog with me, and they have a beautiful home. So I'm just very fortunate. Excuse me. If you guys have been watching my Instagram, you've been seeing the fun that I've been having. But wanted to get on this morning, get you guys a podcast, but had to get my coffee first. Made my little go-to drink this morning. But I'm excited to be coming to you guys today to just be going over stuff again. I always go over questions that I get asked all the time. And so that's what we're going to go over. But first off, I hope you guys are doing great. You're having an awesome day. But let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be going over with today. Is I get asked all the time, hey, what's a great company? What are the top companies in medical device sales? Especially like on TikTok, people are like, hey, I'm in this area, like this part of the United States. Where should I go, or what companies should I look at? And so I wanted to make a podcast just going for, hey, what companies should you really look at, why, and just kind of go over the general overview. But before we're going to do that, a couple things. Again, first, if you can, press that like and subscribe button. If you guys are watching on YouTube, a 5-star review helps us grow this channel. Again, you guys are able to grab any of the guides at New to Medical Device Sales. But most importantly, like I've dropped a couple times on here, I'm going to be dropping my course. We have an official start date. It's going to be next Wednesday. June 1st is when I wanted to do it. June 1st. Again, what it's going to be is it's going to be an online course. It's going to be teaching you guys how to break into medical device sales. There's 9 lessons. You guys will have it. It'll be at your own pace. You guys do it whenever you would like to. But it's going to be videos that I went and I got done so they can help as many people as possible, because again, I want to make sure that I can impact. I have hundreds and hundreds of screenshots. Yet literally just yesterday, I had Stryker and Medtronic reach out to me, said they got hired, and I got 2 days ago Johnson & Johnson. One of the guys I was helping, he broke in as a full line sales rep. So it's just super exciting. I absolutely love it. But the thing is like, I've been able to do this enough to know I can get people hired and know that I can help you guys if you have that goal to break in. So again, that course is going to be on newtomedicaldevicesales.com. You guys can find that link in the description. But again, it's just going to be an in-depth course. We're going to be getting on phone calls. We're going to be doing group messages. We'll have you guys in a chat. Like, there'll be a bunch of resources that I can help you guys with to be successful. The one thing I'm always just going to tell you guys is it's not going to be free. It cost a lot of money for me to get it professionally done, to go in a studio, to have people record it, to get it all together. But again, that's also, it's just like, it's you putting an investment in your future. There's a lot of people who spend a lot more money trying to get in this industry and who don't get in. And I can promise you, if you guys are going to break in, or if you want to break into this industry, this course, if you guys do what I say, if you follow this to a T, you'll have coaching sessions with me. Like, we'll get you in. So again, it's just going to be an investment for your future. For example, also just looking at the average industry member is making 6 figures. So again, if you look at that small investment, no different than what I did. I offered to, when I was first trying to break in, offered to like take people lunches, which would cost me $400, $500, $600, whatever per time, just so I could learn, but it's an investment to like a career that's gonna, not just 6 figures a year, but like if you look at it for the rest of your life, you're talking a big sum. So I do always want to state that. But again, let's get into the topic today. So again, going over, I get asked all the time, hey, what company should I look at? What are the top companies in the United States? Or like a lot of times they'll be like, hey, I'm in the Midwest, or I'm in Miami, or I'm in New York, right? What companies should I be looking at? And so I just want to do this real quick. And I always tell people, hey, there's always going to be a little different take on everybody, because some people want a smaller company. Some people want a larger company. Some people want to go to a name brand one. Some people want to work as a distributor. So that's where it's always like, it's tough for me. Here's the thing I'm going to say. If you Google top medical device companies, I'm just going to list it off. So all I did was I Googled top medical device companies. This is what comes up: Medtronic, Stryker, Abbott, Boston Scientific, Johnson & Johnson, Baxter, GE Healthcare, Cardinal, Becton Dickinson, Philips, Zimmer Biomet, Intuitive, Smith & Nephew, DePuy Synthes, Philips Healthcare. So again, like, that's just a list real quick of medical device companies. So if you don't know, start there. And the best way I can say that is go to YouTube or go to LinkedIn, search those companies, go into people, And then when you're in the people section, reach out to people that are in your area and then just ask them about the company, ask them about the opportunity. So like you guys will always hear that like when I was doing my stuff, I knew I wanted to break in with a top company. I knew that that was my goal. I wanted to be a part of one of the top companies in the world because I knew I just wanted to get in. And if you get in with the top company, right, and you do the right things and you perform, you know, like that builds your resume to what you can do wherever you want to go. So that was always like my goal with everything. And so I knew I wanted to go there, but not everybody does. Everybody wants to like, some people want to go into like a distributorship. Some people want to go into a smaller company. Now, this is the conversation I have a lot of times. People are like, hey, what's a smaller company that I can go work for? I'm like, it depends, man. Like the thing you guys got to think about is everything that's inside the hospital, someone sells it. Everything that's like in offices, somebody sells it. So there's literally hundreds of thousands of like products getting sold. There's different companies for all of those. Some are big, some are small. So like when people are like, the big ones are easy because they're on the list, right? But when there's like, hey, what's some smaller companies? There's literally thousands. There's thousands of them. I don't know. Like, yeah, I've heard of a couple, but like that might not be a great fit for you. You know, so like that's where my best advice is. You just got to research. And people always ask me, how do I research? It's getting on LinkedIn. It's reaching out to people. It's literally talking to people so you can figure out what you like and what you don't like. And that's why I always tell people think when I say networking, it's just to do it. No, you're networking to learn about the division. You're learning about the company. You're learning about the lifestyle, how much money you can make, the pros and the cons. That's why you're networking. And then everything else is just bonus. Right? And then if they like you and then they're like, hey, we might have a job opening. Okay, here's something else. So that's the companies or the things to think about. Now, let's just break down real quick so you can see like a W-2, a big company, a small company, and like a distributorship, a 1099. Because we've talked about this on the show before, but I think this is something for if you guys are new, what to think about. So with a big W-2 company with, for example, like a Stryker, a Johnson & Johnson, Medtronic, one of those companies, a lot of times they're big, right? So they're going to give you like the most amount of stuff and it seems really great. For example, like they could give you a car or a car stipend. They're going to pay for your gas or give you a gas stipend. They're going to give you probably a pretty decent, like it just depends on the company, right? Some companies, if you're an associate, you're going to make 40, 50K. Other companies, you're going to make 90 to 100K. You know, like that's where their starting is. And it's division and it's dependent on where you're going. And then there could also be, hey, you're going to go into a full line sales rep. And like I talked to some full line sales reps, it's like, hey, this is starting at 120K. I've talked to other ones where it's like, hey, this is starting at 240, right? Like it's going to be dependent on what division you're in, what company you're in. From my experience personally, you guys, again, first off, I should state this. The goal of just breaking into medical device is just get into medical device because once you're in and you've performed, you can go anywhere, okay? So that's the hardest goal is just breaking into medical device sales. But once you've broken, once you've become a medical device sales rep or an associate sales rep, that's when you can start looking at like, hey, maybe some of these other companies, there's a division that might work better for me, might look better for me, might financially be a better fit or might have a better work-life balance. That's what you got to look at. So that's what you guys should be doing your research. But again, the hardest part is just breaking in and then you guys can go look for companies. But going back to, again, just these large companies, a lot of times the large medical device companies, they're going to give you like, again, because I work for one, this is what I say to everybody. And then I get backlash from like the smaller companies or especially the 1099 people. It's like, I've made TikToks like, you're going to get free travel. Like my company, when I work, they pay for everything. Like they pay for my airfare, hotel, rental car, everything because I'm going for the business. So like they'll pay for all of it. I get a stipend for food while I'm out there. You know, like for like certain people, like they'll get a car. Like literally like the car they have is given to them. They pay for the gas. They pay for everything. I don't have to pay a thing for their vehicle, right? Some of these bigger companies, they'll do that. Some of the smaller ones, they're probably not going to. Even like some of the bigger companies I know, they'll only do a car stipend. Maybe it's like $300 to $400, but some of these like other companies that are like startups, I've talked to them that are offering $700, $800 for a car stipend, right? So like that's where you'll just do your research. But like basically breaking it down, you got your big companies, they're going to give you all the stuff, 6% match. They're going to give you, a giant car stipend. They're going to pay for your travel. They're going to do a base or a salary, but it's probably under the market value. But it's a good thing by the time you add in all the insurances and all that. That's like the big W-2 that you can expect with one of those big companies. You go to a smaller company, you might have a higher salary, so they might pay you more. Like I know buddies that have left the big companies and they've gone and they're making anywhere from 20 to 80K more because the smaller companies are going to offer, because there could be a little more risk. But, like they don't, like my one buddy, he doesn't have a car. Like he had to go buy his own, like he pays for his own gas and stuff like that. So that's just something different. As you guys are watching, my dog is like being needy. That's that squeaky noise and he's looking at me. But that's something to it's always things to just consider. Like, but also like the smaller companies, you're making more money if it's a higher salary. So there's give and takes with everything. Again, this is where you just have to find it. Like for me, some people like that big corporate feel. Some do. Like some people, like they don't. Like, for example, like I always say, like I could send an email and it could take 3 days for me to get a response. And it's like, I have to talk to 8 people to get an answer, compared to like I've talked to people that are at smaller companies and they're like, at my smaller company, I literally call the VP and get the answer within 2 seconds. Like it's a different organization. It's a different feel. So that's where you guys just have to like, hey, what would I be most comfortable working at and where would I want to be? And again, like I said, when you're first trying to break in, the goal is just to break in. You know what I mean? But then like, again, once you're in it and stuff, these are things that you should start wondering about, like, hey, what do I want my life to look like? So that's kind of the big W-2 companies. And then that's the smaller W-2 companies where, again, all a W-2 means you're an employee. They pay for your taxes. They do all that stuff. Like you pay your own taxes. I'm not saying you don't do that, but like basically you don't have to think about stuff. They do it all for you. You're just an employee. And then when we get to the distributorship side, which all a distributorship is, somebody went and started their own business in medical device sales, and then they hire reps to come work for them as 1099s, which is AKA that rep is their own business. They have to go get their own LLC, make their own company, and then they work for the distributorship and they're going to get paid. But then like the 1099 rep is responsible for everything. Like you don't have a car stipend, nobody's paying you anything. You're doing it all. So like everything you do is out of your own pocket. It's your own business. So like when you go do a lunch, no company's paying for it. You're paying it out of pocket. But here's why a lot of people like distributorships as well. 2 things. A, it's more risk, 100%, because it's not the safe salary, give you a car, stipend, all that stuff. It's more like, hey, you got to go figure it out. It's more eat what you kill when they talk about it. But with that also, it's the upside. Like for example, if you're working for a company, and let's just say that let's go, and again, this is as a full line sales rep, not an associate. But let's just say you're a full line sales rep and they're like, hey, we're going to give you a base of, at plan, it's going to be 150,000. Okay. And then it's like your territory though is like $2 million. Okay. Well, if that's your quota is $2 million and you just got paid 150, well, if you do the math, you didn't even get paid 10%, because 10% of 2 million would be 200,000, right? But you could go work for a distributor and maybe they pay you, like I have a buddy, he's getting paid 17%. So every surgery he does, to do it, like if they're doing $10,000, he just made $1,700 in that one surgery. Right. So like there's been days we've talked and there's been days like, again, he said it's more closer to like 1,000, but there's been days like, he's like, hey, I did 5 surgeries. I'm like, oh, you just made $5,000 today. He's like, yep. But there's also the times, there's the week where he's like, I did no surgeries this week. So that week he made $0. So like there's more risk and reward. And like the thing to think about is like, again, you're not having insurances, you're not having anyone. And then like when you're talking about like the base, the associate, everything, everybody for it. Like like Leo, who was on there, who does a distributorship, we talked off air. She's like, hey, why are you telling people that like these are the bases, these are the averages? And I was like, because that's what it is for the W-2 across the board. But like for someone who's like a 1099, who has their own distributorship, they're like, why are you telling people like it's that high? Because they have to pay it out of their own pocket. So like, it would be no difference if I decided to make my own distributorship and said, hey, I'm opening up a position. I'm offering a base of 40,000 plus commission, right? I'm personally, the distributor is paying that person the $40,000 out of their own pocket. and then they have to go do the commission. So that's why, like, a lot of times you'll see the distributors, maybe they don't offer any base, or they're a very small base, because that's coming out of literally their pocket. They're paying you to do that, compared to these big companies. They're like, oh, we're cool with, like, yeah, here's this, right? Because it's just part of it. So these are all things to consider when you guys are breaking in. Let me just make this very clear. There is no right or wrong answer. You can never do it. The only right answer is what's best for you. You know, like, I get told or asked all the time, should I go work at a large company? Should I go work at a small company? Should I go work at a distributorship? I don't know. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know what you can handle. I don't know if you're somebody who's like for me, I'm always like, hey, let's hit the ground running, baby. Like, I just had a meeting that I don't need anybody to pay me anything. Like, I'm going to go earn all my stuff by myself. I don't need that. Like, I would be cool with being in a distributorship or doing anything. But also, like, I can also work at a big company and, like, do all the corporate stuff and make it work too. Like, I can do it both. Like, some people just can't. Some people can't work in corporate. Some people can't handle the risk of, like, not knowing the unknown and not getting paid, right? Like, first off, it's sales, so I think you should be, but, like, B, I think, like, some people can't handle, like, eat what you kill mentality. So everybody's different. But that's why you guys just have to find what's best for you and what you would really want to do with your career. Your career. And so, like, that's what it's just all comes down to, is whatever is the best fit for you guys. So I think that's the reason I tell you guys, that's why you need to be reaching out, so you can just figure it out. Go talk to a distributorship. Go talk to somebody who's been a distributor for a while. Go talk to somebody who's worked at a smaller company. Go talk to someone who's worked at a large company. Go see somebody who's went from a small to a large to a small company. You know, from a large company to a distributorship. Like, they're all over. You just have to look on LinkedIn. Like, if you Google these guys, they're not hard to find. And girls, they're not hard to find. You'll be able to find these people. You just have to be able to put yourself out there and like, let me make this clear. It's sales, right? You're going to get on LinkedIn. You're going to reach out to 100, and 7 people will get back to you, and you'll get on a phone call with 3. Like, that's just it. You know, like, that is the game. Everybody always asks me, what's the game? That's the game. You do that long enough, you meet enough people, you make enough connections. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now you got interviews, right? So that's really it is. But, like, all I can say is, like, there's no right or wrong. You guys got to make the decision. But, like, there are pluses and minuses for everything you do in life, not just medical device, but, like, anything you do. So big corporate is going to be smaller than small corporate in medical device sales. That's going to be different than the distributorship. You guys just got to find what would be the best fit and where you want to get in, and go for it. You know, like, some people are like, hey, I already have a car, so I don't need, you know, a corporate car. I just need a higher salary. But then there's other ones that are like, hey, I get a corporate car, it pays for everything, plus I get a salary. Like, now I don't have anything to worry about. You know, like, everyone's just different is all I'm trying to say. So hopefully this is helpful. You guys just go decide what is the best fit for you. But again, I just appreciate you guys always reaching out. Again, I get messages every single day. I absolutely love it. So if you haven't, reach out to me on Instagram, New to Medical Device Sales, LinkedIn, Jacob McLaughlin, TikTok, we're on New to Medical Device Sales, YouTube, as you guys can see, New to Medical Device Sales. Again, feel free to reach out to me on it. I get back to everybody that I can. So again, if I haven't got back to you guys, first off, I apologize. Second off, just shoot me another message. There's so many times I'll be getting ready to call somebody, or I'm going through a message, and then I get a phone call from work, and, like, I just space it, right? So if you guys have reached out and I haven't got back to you, please just reach back out. I'm always willing to help anybody I can, especially the ones that are going to help themselves. And if you reach out, most likely on Instagram or LinkedIn, that's, like, LinkedIn's the number 1, and then Instagram, I'll get back to you eventually on those. So just reach out to me on that. Happy to help any way I can. Again, just really want to touch on the course that we have coming out. Again, it's launching this Wednesday, June 1st at New to Medical Device Sales. Again, just so you know, I should have stated this earlier. This is going to be a very small select group. I'm not just taking anybody, and I'm not taking a bunch of numbers. I'm taking a very small select. My goal is, I think, 5 for the whole month, because I don't want a lot of people. I want to make sure the people who sign up, they're going to get the best best coaching. They're going to get the best everything that they can get, and we're going to work through everything with everybody. So again, it's going to be a very small select few, but if you're one of those people who are like, hey, I'm ready to break into medical device sales, I'm ready to go for it, I'm committed, like, I can get you hired. I know that. I have hundreds of screenshots that I can show you for the proof, and I've done it. And I've gotten my job offers, right? So I'm very confident that if this is a decision and a commitment that you decide to take, that we'll get you hired in medical device sales, and you can start living your life that you want to in this great industry. But again, I'm excited to be bringing this course to you guys because, again, I just want to help as many people. I love getting the messages when it's like, hey, you just changed my life. I just had the most rewarding. I just had a phone call. I'm going to get him on the podcast. A guy told me he'd been trying to break into medical device sales for 3 years. He did sales for another company before this, but not in this industry. And for 3 years, he tried to break in. He found my stuff. He did the course that I've been working on. And in 2 months, he broke in with one of the top companies. And so now he's been in under a year, and he's actually being upgraded to a full line sales rep, and he's crushing it and doing all that stuff. And he called me, he's like, you changed my life. And like, to me, that's, again, this isn't me bragging, you guys. This is just like, that's why I do this. People always like, why are you doing this? Why you get on these phone calls? Why do you make these podcasts? It's that. I want to help as many people as I can. That's my goal, because this industry is an industry that can change your life financially and professionally and whatever you want to make it. It is. And then you get to help a lot of people, and it's just an awesome career. So again, feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions about anything or about the course. Happy to get on a call with you guys. Happy to answer anything. But I look forward to talking with you guys. If you haven't, press that like and subscribe button. If you guys are listening on podcasts, a 5-star review helps us. And again, check out New to Medical Device Sales to get everything you need. Also, we have that 30, 60, 90-day plan that you guys can grab for free. You just put in your email. We send out weekly emails every month to help you, or every week, to help you guys break into medical device sales as well. But you guys can go grab that free 30, 60, 90-day plan, which I've had several people say they did. One guy just actually did it for a final interview with Stryker. He went and grabbed it, made his own little changes to it, and he said that he is going to meet with the team and most likely get the job because it stood out. So again, that's all this is to help you guys stand out. But I appreciate you guys as always. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.